What's up, everyone? It's your girl Merv. Welcome back to Read the Room podcast.
This is not how we're starting.
That was cute.
No.
Hey everyone, welcome to Read the Room podcast. As always, it's your girl Merv.
So dramatic. This is Embria. Hi everybody.
Hi
Happy
everyone.
New Year.
Yes, Happy New Year. Happy 2021. Thank y'all for sticking with us this far.
Yeah, it was our first year. 2020.
Year.
We had some.
It was like our first 5 or 6 months.
First couple months, but we started the podcast in 2020. So thank you for entering a new year with us. We're excited.
Yes.
If you've been listening before and you hear this sound, you know that this sounds so much better.
So much better
than our last equipment. We got some new equipment, new year, new us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Trying to level up for y'all. New content, new all of that.
A little bit.
So we are coming off the back of a very traumatic year, I would say.
The weirdest, honestly, 2020 was the weirdest year that I've lived through. It's been some weird years, but consecutively, I mean, taken as a whole, 2020 was wild.
It was wild. Literally, once the year started, and obviously in pop culture, Kobe and Gianna died.
Oh my God.
Pop Smoke died. Yeah. Then boom, pandemic from March. I feel like when we first started, it was like, okay, a couple weeks, we're going to be back in the office. You're going to be back.
That's how they started.
Off mask.
14 days, we'll be back.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about it. Just go home. I'm like, oh yeah, I got to work from home for 14 days. I haven't been back in the office since March.
Literally.
What was it, February? March.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I just went back on yesterday to pick up my monitors. Because I really didn't think we were going to be at home that long. So I didn't bring my monitors home. I just brought my laptop.
Bro, I had bought a monitor long ago.
Really?
I'm not. Because early on, it seemed like we might not. Yeah. It might not last that long. Yeah. So I had asked, can I get it mailed to me? And it was kind of like, oh, we don't know if we have it. I just got a monitor and I've been in here.
Yeah. Even through, maybe at the top of summer, okay, we're finna wrap this up. By the end of summer, we're going to be right back. And here we are.
Bro, it really hit me when it started to become fall.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a second.
And then winter.
Wait, I missed summer.
Yeah.
So in the last couple weeks of summer, I'm trying to go to restaurants that are outside still because it's I'm not about to get this again until 2021.
And we don't even know if that's
a it might not be a thing.
We don't know if that's a given.
We about to be at my house, okay? Outside because that's
the way the government's working, the way people are just refusing to follow guidelines, it's we're in for another rude awakening of a year, I think, based on what we've experienced so far.
I'm thinking so. I hate that this has happened in our 20s.
Oh my
because
God,
your 20s are such valuable, sweet years that we finally have enough money to do what we want to do, go see, travel, eat, and it's the universe was actually. So basically, I'm trying to do 26 again. My birthday is next month, or my birthday is January 2021. I'm trying to redo 26.
I'm trying to do 25 again. I feel like 25 is it's just a big one.
25 is a good year because after that it's you knocking on 30 doorstep. Right. Oh Lordy. So
next year I'll be turning 25 again. All presents are welcome.
You know what? I thought of an idea for people's birthdays. People should start having registries for their birthday. Why do we use it for only weddings and babies?
Showers.
What if when I turn another year older, here's some
things I would like.
Yeah, even if you have an Amazon running registry or something. Oh yeah. We need to I'm friends.
You should say that because our birthday is in a couple of weeks.
I was just about to say, you guys, if you get a link,
we're gonna put her link in the description of this episode. So if y'all want to send her something, email us for the address.
Literally.
But so 2021. We're starting the year off. I'm hoping this is going to be a good year, but I'm up for whatever at this point.
Anything. Well, no,
don't even say that. Don't even say that. We up for whatever's going to happen.
Yeah, at this point.
But we have to talk about New Year's resolutions.
Yes. I feel like New Year's resolutions are an interesting concept.
They are.
Who started? Who decided that?
I don't know.
Whoever it was is probably a very good marketing person.
Okay.
They're like, you know what? It's a new year. Even if you went from Thursday to Friday, that midnight of that one night,
it's a
is
what?
it's a whole new thing. It's new. And whatever we be rocking with it, like, yep, it's a new
My New Year's resolutions are, I feel like after 2020, people are definitely scared too. Because
scared to make resolutions.
Because everybody had intentions. We were all like, this is going to be the best new decade, best year. That's what everybody's vibe was, and that was literally not the case. It was one of the worst years, at least in my 25 years of living, that I've experienced.
I feel like it was such an introspective year, though. Yes. Even though it was trash on the external, you had no choice but to deal with you and whatever you got going on, whatever turmoil is in there, because every single day, like whatever was whatever was distracting you before and keeping you busy, now it's happening within the four walls of your home.
Exactly. Like, everything is there. Yeah. But on that, I think there is like a psychological approach to New Year's resolution. And I was perusing an article, and they're basically saying that a lot of the New Year's resolutions that we have kind of surround about like huge life-changing moments. Like, I want to lose weight. I want to, money and this other thing. But the biggest reason, like, why people don't reach their goals, first of all, only about 10% of people actually reach their New Year's resolutions, which is, like, a small amount of people. Because there's, like, this false hope syndrome attached to it, where basically people underestimate how much it's going to take of them to actually reach those goals as far as like time and commitment, things like that. That makes sense. When you set the goal, it's just like, I'm finna do this, but then when you get into the nitty gritty, you're like, dang, I didn't know it's gonna be all this much work.
I think that starting a new year gives people a false sense of newness. And nothing is new. It's a new day. You just woke up again. So I feel like unless you have been preparing yourself to make a change, and you're like, okay, as of this day, I'm going to implement all these things I want to change, it's kind of unrealistic. Like, you don't have any more energy on the new year. You don't have any more resources. Right. Whatever the case was on December 31st of the year before, those are the same circumstances you're living in. So people are not realistic with themselves at all. Like, you have to plan for change. But here we all are trying to make resolutions. Okay, so one thing before we get into some of our things we feel like we should leave behind or take into the new year, I think that one thing that could make having a New Year's resolution more feasible or more realistic is if you're specific with your goals.
Super smart goals.
Yeah, because if you're like, I want to be healthier, that's so broad. Yeah. Then in every, you just trucking along. But if you're like, I want to eat vegetables with at least one meal every day, right? Then whether you did it that day or whether not, it doesn't become a balancing. Like, burgers isn't that unhealthy, right?
Start making excuses.
Yeah, you have to be specific with your goals.
That is absolutely true. So let's get into the meat of this episode. What are we leaving behind?
Yeah,
in 2020.
Ooh. Everything.
Right. We leave in 2020 in 2020. On January 1st, 2021, we don't even talk about this year. We're going to act like it didn't happen.
Literally.
But you know what? As bad as a year as it was, there was some wins in the year.
Personal wins?
Personal.
Yeah.
I got promoted.
Yeah.
You.
Oh, what'd I do?
You bought a condo. You passed the bar.
Okay.
What you talking about?
Yeah, 2020 was personally a very good year. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. Like, this was an important year, but it's difficult. I felt it was so strange because on social media everybody's struggling. Yeah, it's like, I don't want to be in everybody's face like, look, but I just felt so blessed and happy, that it worked out. Because all right, so we made a little list of some things that we feel like should have been left in 2020.
Yes.
This is based on our own experiences, based on social media, based on our friends' experiences. I feel like we've all been, anyone who uses like Twitter, Instagram, I feel like we've all been pretty in tune with one another because we're all at home scrolling. So some things we've seen. The first one to leave in 2020, unrealistic expectations and weighing our success alongside other people, like celebrities and things like that.
Yes.
So there's been this wave of people being like, you don't have this. And like, have you seen with the purses?
Yeah.
Where all of a sudden they're like Coach and Michael Kors and this and the other. Like, those are not good brands. Like, it's just a lot of judging, looking at the next person. We need to leave all of that behind.
We're just going to have to mind the business that pays us.
Only that
If your name is not on that business, on that paycheck, let's go ahead and, unless it's something positive, you kind of have to keep that to yourself. Because fuck that. Seriously. I hate when people do that, like with luxury items and things like that. Even when you just think about materialistic things, period, they're all just material, just a fabric. We associate a value within our society to it. Yes. All this stuff, literally nothing is a value in this world. Literally. We associate it as a way to kind of have this hierarchy within our society. Yes. People who are more popular, more rich, they have these sort of things, and the people who don't, all of that doesn't matter.
Yes.
Especially in a pandemic.
Bro, I was just going to say, pandemic year should have showed you to find your lane or find what makes you happy. Yeah. And ride that wave.
That's it.
Like, there's no reason that you need to be looking over there and doing this and doing that, because then you're going to start comparing. Oh, wow. It was a pandemic and she got a raise. Right. It was a pandemic and she got a promotion. She got a man. She got a whatever the case may be. Then all of a sudden you off track, now focused on you and what you could be doing to better yourself. Yeah. So like in 2021, focus less on other people and what they're doing on yourself. Yeah. And I think people need to make a conscious decision about their own life. Like, okay, here's what my goals are. Here's what I want to do. So that you're not clouded by everything else that's going on. Because somebody might pop up with a business. It's like, wait, I want one of them too this year. It's like, figure out your stuff and do that.
I agree with that 100%. Like, I feel like when people like point out like, oh, you got a raise or you got a man or you got this and that, sometimes it can kind of serve as a source of inspiration if you're that type of person who doesn't take things personally. Like someone else's success doesn't mean anything about your future plans, your next completely moves. Separate. It doesn't, literally, it has nothing to do with that. But on the other hand, some people don't even realize like, yeah, that person's succeeding, but that's not even like in the position that you're in, it doesn't even make sense for you. Yeah. Does it make sense for you right now to have a boyfriend? Are you even in a position where you can get a raise? Are you doing what you need to do to, elevate your life? Does it even make sense?
Literally, is it common in your field? Say you work in a field that you have the same pay for X amount of years, then you bump up. Why you want a raise in that year? You know you wasn't going to get a bump up just because you see somebody else doing it. Or say you just got out of an unhealthy situation. You see somebody else with a man. You don't need a man right now. No. You need to worry about you.
And what you doing.
Yeah, grow on the inside. So, like, people just need to focus on you. Yeah. I feel like you are so much, you're like a light to the universe and those around you when you're focused on you, because you can distinguish the two. I feel like my sister is the perfect person for this. She's so happy for you tell her anything you did that's good, she's so excited about it. She could be having the worst day in her personal life, but that's separate. If you have something great that happened to you, she's geeked, okay? Yeah. And everyone should aspire to be like that for their people, because
and I also strongly believe when people say like, what's meant for you will not miss you, it sure won't.
I have that tattoo on my side, guys. Won't. I know y'all like me talking about my tattoo.
But when you're in the position to receive those wins, to receive those elevations, like, it's gonna come. Yeah. But if it's like, if you're constantly in a state of like, when is it going to be my turn? When is it going to be my, that type of stuff, I don't think it's going to come to you. And I was in that space for the longest. I was like, fuck, because I wasn't happy with my last position. I'm like, fuck, please, anything. And then all the opportunities I was going for, I was like missing them. Yeah. But it turns out those weren't for me. Because where I am now, and the promotion I got, I was like, the most perfect job for me. Yes. So I had to learn that the hard way.
What's meant to be will be, as it's tatted down my side, okay?
Period.
Focus on you in 2021. Okay. Period. Number 2 is a little political. So shaming people.
I'm sorry, does that?
Do you think it's gonna hear?
I don't know.
We could pause.
We'd have to start another recording. It doesn't pause.
You can do like part 1, part 2. Well, is that too difficult?
No, but I just kind of like to be one flow.
I don't think you'll hear it.
Okay, I don't think so.
The microphones were, and even if you do, what are we gonna do?
Yeah,
I don't know how to
turn
do
nothing. I'll just try to use that that first part, the noise reduction. Keep going.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be. But...
Okay, cool.
Okay, our next one is a little bit political here. So one thing we're gonna leave in 2020 is shaming people who want more from the government or who are critical of the government, because pandemic year showed us they don't care.
Don't be doing shit.
They don't
up
care.
On that hill.
They don't care about this. If their tie or dress is red or blue, either way, bro.
Either way, they not doing. I think at the end of the day, we all have to realize that the government works for us.
But the government don't know that.
They don't know that. They think we work for them.
Yeah.
But they're getting our taxpayer dollars. That's what pays their checks.
Yes.
But then they go up there and act like we don't exist. They're going in the interests of themselves and their billionaire friends and their millionaire friends. The people who actually pay them, they do not care about.
I think that that's one of the big downfalls of having a bipartisan government like we do. It's not even about the people and our well-being anymore. It's too adversarial.
Yeah.
It's too, okay, here's what I want and you want something different. Okay, let's argue about it. It's not about the people who it's going to affect.
Yeah.
Say if the government gave us $2,000 a piece, $600 a piece, whatever. What does that have to do with you as a politician? Nothing. Is that money coming out of your pocket?
It surely is not.
It's not taking away from anything that has to do with you. So why wouldn't you want people to get money?
Not only is it not coming out of their pockets, that is our money. That is our taxpayer dollars.
That's the biggest
That's our money.
That's the biggest part.
And that's so crazy that they have so much control over what we do with our money that we work for.
I think that's the part that blows me the most about it. So we pay every single check is
they be taking too. They be taking. I don't like seeing my my gross. I don't like seeing that.
It's pointless to see your gross.
That's why I'm looking at pay
because that's not even your money. You're looking at the money
that you woulda, coulda, shoulda.
It blows me to know I was there working every day, all them hours I worked, and I'm working to give y'all that. Oh, I don't even want to talk about it, but okay, we're working those hours and we're making that money, and it goes to them. And then finally, when stuff hits the fan, for the first, worse than it's been in years and years, y'all don't have no kind of plan. So y'all just be checking, just collecting the money every time. Collecting. Now there's a disaster, and it's like, oh, wow. So should we have planned for this disaster? Bro, what are you saying?
It's so crazy to me how, and then a lot of the people who are not in the position, who don't even qualify for a stimulus check, they're the ones speaking on behalf of us. I'm like, you're a millionaire. What do you have to? You don't live the life that we live. Granted, some of us are a little bit well off because I take care of myself, so it's like I'm not like someone who's in a different position, like let's say like a mom with like kids and stuff like that. Yeah. Obviously, they're gonna have a different situation than me.
Yeah.
But I still qualify for that, and I still want that. And it's like, what I'm using this money for is not going to make me rich. This $2,000, I'm not finna be rich. I'm not finna be on Forbes off this $2,000. That's not what's gonna happen. And that's their worry for some reason. I don't know.
It's so strange. It doesn't apply to any of them. I think if you make six figures and above, you are not qualified.
Over 75,000,
bro.
And none of them qualify for that.
So what do you gain from being like, you shouldn't get it? You should, like, what do you mean? 600, 2,000, you're not going to get that money anyway. You've been with a stable job this entire pandemic in the government.
Right.
What is that? I don't understand. We've talked about this in episodes before where there are some people who, even if, like, when they themselves have enough, they have this complex about, like, people beneath them. Like, oh, y'all need to stay down there. What is $2,000 going to do?
Not a dang thing. And that's why it really just makes me so freaking mad.
They're sick, okay, but I think that's why we mention this. There's a lot of people who just love the government. Oh my God, like this country is much better than blank, blank, blank. Okay, we're not talking about that. We're trying to say
I really do think we are a third world country. I do believe that. we just like have the material to cover ourselves. I really think the world's richest nation. And there's like over 100 countries, and we are number one as far as riches, and we can't even provide for our people. But other countries like Canada, they've been consistently giving their people stimulus checks to just stay afloat. to stay afloat. People are facing evictions. Unemployment is like up to like what, 40 million? 17 million people infected with COVID, 300,000 dead. I mean, it's like, and y'all don't even want to give us. They was arguing about $600. They were arguing about $600.
On average, that's not nobody's living arrangement.
That's no one's.
Like no
one's. Teenagers, that could do very well to teenagers. High school teenagers, they balling.
Go to the movies every weekend, like adults. Bro, no, $600. That is.
I don't even know whose rent that could potentially cover.
That don't cover.
Maybe in like a super rural area.
Maybe in a rural area. And how many months, bro? And then could you eat off that? Right. And if you could pay your rent, could you pay the light bill too? It's just like $600.
And then groceries, and then kids, and then everything in between. It's
On the topic of the government and politics, I'm actually very curious to see how Joe Biden and Kamala are going to do, because they seem very, I don't know. We all fed into what they had to say, but I feel like anybody's better than Trump. So it's kind of like, sure. But I'm curious to know if they will keep true to any of the things that they have promised.
I was hopeful during the run because the whole mental state was we have to be Trump. Yeah. But I don't know if I'm that hopeful of that.
No.
I'm going to, obviously, we have to give him a chance regardless, but it's just kind of like, I'm very skeptical. I would say that.
Yeah. Joe Biden is so old, bro. No
shade. He's like 90,000 years old.
I'm like.
He's really, that's another thing. I do think we need to.
Age limit?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think you should be no more than 65 at the end of your term as president.
65.
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's so difficult because all of the systems that they set in place make it make it hard for somebody young to do certain things. Like, okay, you got to go to college, so that puts you at what, like 21, 22 years old, and then they want you to get a professional degree or whatever, so you get a master's or a law degree. Then that's a couple years beyond. You're like 26, and now politics is literally making a name for yourself. Like, go and you run in terms of like 2 to 4 years.
Yeah.
How many of those can you do? You do a couple of them and you are already 45 years old, and now you got to be the president. But on the other hand, the people who are in these positions are just so old and out of touch.
Mitch McConnell, this is for you. I'm tired of your big, fat, ugly face up in that motherfucking hill. Stop. Like, give up. We tired. You're literally falling apart at the seams. Your skin is peeling. Your veins, we can see them. We can literally see the white meat. Give it up. You are too old. This man was like an adult when segregation was still a thing. So I don't think that people like that should be in office. You clearly have some sort of unconscious bias, because I know for a fact Mitch McConnell was terrorizing people in some segregation days, because the way he acts about basic stuff, basic, like, you know, things for citizens and human rights.
Yeah,
he's against them. And he is 83, 84, 85.
Yeah.
My grandmother is that, and I wouldn't trust her with nothing.
Yeah.
She walk out the kitchen, forget where the kitchen is at. And I'm pretty sure quite a few of them up on that hill have that issue.
The same way, yes. I feel like our country can't evolve, and, you know,
with old people leading it,
because they're leading from their perspective when they were 2 years old 200 years ago. And we're beyond like, that. We need.
Mitch McConnell was born in 1985 BC. We're through. Stop playing with us, Mitch. Give it up. We done with you. Nancy Pelosi, you too.
Nancy,
they all gotta go.
Nancy.
They are too old, and it's like you have people trying to work from within the system, but they can't because the votes never lie in their favor.
Never. So
it's like we're sending these people up there, and then once things don't change, then the people are like, "What did you do?" But it's like sometimes they can't even help it.
It's not even their
So we need
fault.
to get the people that are old out of there, and it's so hard. Even the lady I was running against Mitch McConnell, she stood no chance.
Yeah,
because he's freaking Mitch McConnell.
Yeah,
he hasn't lost in however many years.
Yeah, it's terrible. Same thing with judges. No shade to the Supreme Court,
Amy.
but it just a lifetime. You're gonna.
Do you know what a lifetime is,
bro? You're gonna sit on that court for the rest of your life. Like, how are these people qualified for that? You're the most important judges ever in the entire country for the rest of your life. What? Huh? What?
I really don't think there should be such thing as lifetime appointments. We gotta switch them out.
I'm thinking, y'all, if y'all want to do a long time, okay, 10 years or something 10, like 20. That. 10 to 20 years, but a lifetime. So you spend your whole life making law that's either going to benefit people or is going to take away their rights. That's literally what the Supreme Court does.
It does to take away the rights, especially now with Amy up there.
Bro. They're literally, and that's another thing. Judges, it should not be political.
No.
There's nothing political about justice. It's either just or it's not. It should be humane or it's not.
People. Yeah. And none of them people up there are unbiased.
They're not. They have political motives, and that just does not make sense to me. That has nothing to do with like the weighing of, justice theoretically. Like, you're a Republican, bro. And you don't want us to have rights?
Right. And they're in so many people's pockets that I don't think they can ever make a unbiased choice on anything moving forward.
No, there's no way. But the reason that they choose them and the way that they go about being appointed tells you all that you need to know. There's a president who's like, oh, okay, so you don't like black people? Check. You don't like white women? Everybody like white women. You don't like women to have rights? Yeah.
Oh, abortions? Yeah,
I was just going to say, you think abortions are a bad idea?
Oh, birth control pills?
Me too. Then it's like, okay, so I'm going to put you on that court that controls everything that goes on in this country for the rest of your life. Who thought that was a good idea? And it's so
hard, once they put something in motion, it's so hard to repeal that.
When the Supreme Court says something,
that's pretty much it.
That's law. Like, they've made their, like, it's insane to me.
And most of them are like, what do you call those people who are like, they go by the Constitution?
Constitutionalists?
Is that what they're called? It's something else they're called.
Constructionists or some strict constructionists,
like go like that. But even like the Constitution of the United States, it is so. When they were writing that, first of all, they were all slave owners, and they did not think the society would be where it is today. Why in the hell would we go off based on a piece of paper like that? Yeah. And that's all it is, a piece of paper. That how many people signed it? You remember how many people? I was really good at history. However many white men signed that, and now that has been the governing law ever since.
And that's crazy.
1776.
I feel as I am just as critical of the Constitution as I am of people taking the Bible word for word. It's the same thing. Like, that okay, part. You can take the general principles, like, okay, you want people to have things and this, that, and the other. Yeah. But when you get down to the nitty gritty, up into the, controlling what people do in the four corners of their home. Yeah. No, bro. Too far.
So let people shame the people in government. Let them attack them, not physically, but let them, verbally attack them because they need to. They're not doing what they are. They're not doing their job.
Yeah, let them be critical.
They're not doing their job.
And that's the only way that we make change. Yeah. History has showed us the only way you make change is if you are vocal about it, if you complain about some stuff, because otherwise
everything is going to stay the same. We wouldn't be where we are if it wasn't for a little bit of uproar.
A lot of bit of uproar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. So the next thing we are leaving in 2020 is pocket watching. And what we mean by pocket watching is people with more money than others saying they shouldn't be taxed. B, people with less money saying they shouldn't spend stimulus in certain ways, and being jealous of people who were unemployment making more money. Let me start that over because those are our talking points, aren't they?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway. All right. So moving on, we're going to talk about pocket watching. And I'm pretty sure we all know what pocket watching is. You and the next person's Levi jeans trying to see what they have in their wallet, trying to see what credit cards they have, their credit lines and stuff like that. We need to leave that at home.
Yeah.
We need to leave that in your mind. We need to not have that at all. But let's start off with rich people and taxation.
Okay. I feel like it was a whole lot of pocket watching during the pandemic by people who are rich or wealthy, whatever the case may be, talking about how people were spending their stimulus checks?
Yes.
Bro, what are you saying? Like, it was people being like, and I feel like we talked about this in an earlier episode. We talked about it.
Over the summer.
Yeah, over the summer. And it just continued through the year. They just did not let up. Like, oh, you should have spent your stimulus on woo-woo. You should have invested your
Like, what could possibly, if the government is arguing about sending us $600, what? And you in a pandemic? I would not be mad at anybody for choosing enjoyment over anything else.
No.
Because next month, you're going to have the same issues, but at least you're going to be a little bit happier.
I was just going to say, in the event that the government does give out stimulus checks, I would advise, anybody who gets it, like, make some room to do some stuff that makes you happy with that money. Because people have been living paycheck to paycheck, struggling, like, you haven't gotten to treat yourself this whole time because you've been just trying to survive. So, like, I do not agree when people pocket watch. I hate it outside the context of the pandemic, but especially during.
Yeah.
I feel like pocket watching in general is annoying because it's me telling another person, here's how I feel like you should spend your money and here's what I foresee you should want for you. And it's like, you don't know what that person wants for them. Like, people will say, like, someone who works at McDonald's shouldn't be having on a Gucci belt. Okay, what if, hear me out, they like working at McDonald's and they want to continue working at McDonald's. So they're not going to and one day just get a chunk of money. That's not their plan. So if the way that they want to enjoy themselves right now with their McDonald's cash is a Gucci belt, what does that have to do with you? Nothing. If you don't want a Gucci belt, don't get you one. But, like, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying everybody, it's a good thing to be wasteful of your money, but it's like, it's not a good thing to be passing judgment on other people and their choices because you don't know you don't know their circumstances and it's not your money to spend. So mind your business.
I think what we all can learn, something that we already know, is that people hate poor people. Yeah. They do, because poor people be doing the same thing that rich people do, but because they don't have money, they don't have, like, the, you know, the place in society, people think that they shouldn't be doing all of that. Even, like, when people give money to the homeless, so I hope they don't spend it on drugs. You spend your money on drugs.
Oh,
what makes you different?
That's such a good point you make.
You gave them the money. Let them do what they gotta do.
Yeah, that's a great point you make, because I have fallen victim, like, oh, I really hope that they spend this money on something that they need. But at the end of the day, they're going to do what they feel they need in that moment, regardless if it's what I would choose for them. It's not, if I'm choosing to give up the money, I can't say how you spend it. Same goes for the government giving out a stimulus check. You can't, oh yeah, here goes $600. You better put that to 1/3 of your rent.
Yeah.
Like, you can't control people.
Yeah, people just need to leave poor people alone, like, for real. It's already hard enough that a lot of people are living paycheck to paycheck. People don't know where their next meal is going to come from. If I get a chunk of money and I want to treat myself to, like, some good food or something like that, I'm going to do that, because I know next month I'm still going to have to figure out how I'm going to pay rent. Nothing changes. And it's just a small amount of we had $1,200 in March. It's December. We still don't have a second stimulus check. And you're worried about what poor people are doing? No. Take that frustration and turn it on the government. Yeah. They're the ones that are supposed to be making things work. They're the ones who are supposed to be make sure that we're good, but they don't. Yeah. And that even leads into the conversation when you're mentioning, like, McDonald's and stuff like that. It brings into the conversation of minimum wage. A lot of people don't want minimum wage to go up because they don't want to be on the same level as McDonald's workers. Bro,
and that we've talked about that too, and that really blows me. If
somebody worked at McDonald's and make the same amount of money as I did, I don't give $2. Because you know what? I need somebody to give me my fries. I'm so serious.
And don't forget to put my barbecue sauce in the bag, honey. And it's not going to be me.
So if it's them and we're making the same amount,
then you're doing, and I think that that's another thing. Like, people choose their path. Sometimes people choose it because it makes them happy, but sometimes people choose their path because of the elite, twang that things have to it. So it's like, okay, I chose to go this path and I make X amount of dollars. I didn't choose to go that low path to the extent that if they're making the same as you, you're like, they cannot make the same as me because I'm miserable doing something that's popular. Like, you sound very crazy saying that. Like, why would you want someone else to not make the money you make
to make a livable wage.
If somebody could make what I'm making working at McDonald's, get it how you live, bro. I respect that you, because I be tired, honey. If you can establish
and people really underestimate what it takes to work in fast food. I worked in fast food for 2 years. Would I go back? Hell no. I would not go back. Most of us in the corporate space, we sit in our comfy chairs all day, typing on computers, going on webcams. They have to be on their feet for 8+ hours, cooking in this heat, cooking this food, dealing with shitty ass customers. Mm-hmm. To me, I think that deserves a livable wage. No one can tell. Even if they're not doing that, I don't give a fuck if you're in the bathroom on your phone. You deserve a livable wage.
I think that's where the United States and capitalism and how we exist, that just does not rub us right. Because I think that everybody ought to make enough money for them to survive. So it's crazy. And like, society doesn't work without those people. Like, the world does not go round if everybody's in an office at their desk.
Exactly.
If you have to eat, who's going to cook that food? Yeah. You got to go to the grocery store. Who was the person who put the stuff on the shelves? We need every single person. So, like, why would you not want them to make...
Exactly. That's why I don't think companies work top down. They work, bottom up. Because even, like, with big companies like the Walmarts and Targets of the world, they started small. And then they work their way up. Yeah. And people in corporate think they're so much more important. But you can take out corporate out one person at a time. Wouldn't nobody at the bottom notice? Because that's the people who are getting the service. No one's gonna fucking notice. Yeah. But if you start losing people and your chain stores and your workforce, and things like that,
there is no corporate.
Then you slow down production times. And motherfuckers are like complaining. Then it's a whole big problem. At the time, you can get rid of everybody. Yeah. Whatever.
Nobody even knows who y'all are. Exactly. Making these decisions, like it's.
Exactly. So,
stop pocket watching, okay?
Stop pocket watching people, especially poor people. Leave them alone. Yeah. Oh yeah, we had a point about rich people being taxed. First of all, just get taxed. It's not even a discussion. Rich people need to be taxed.
Yeah, I hate taxes. We all hate them. I hate the idea of anybody getting taxed. Yeah. But if we're gonna do it, then y'all have to do it.
You're living in excess. Let's be honest. You're living in excess.
It's crazy how much money some people have.
Yeah, it's pretty. Who was that? Zuckerberg, he became a trillionaire.
Are you joking me?
And Bezos, I think, too.
What? Like...
Net worth-wise, yeah.
At some point, what more do you need? Like, you get to a certain point where you just completely don't need anything else. Yeah.
Someone give an example of Amazon, because you know how people... There's this word I want to use. I don't know if it's the right one. It's a big word, so I'm not going to use it. There's this person that made this, basically like brought up this analogy of like how people like are always defending like, the Bezos of the world. Like they got their money. You guys should just get your money up type stuff. Yeah. But he talked about the story about a merchant that was selling through Amazon. They had, I forgot what the product was, but they were selling out. So what did Amazon do? They made the same product a little bit cheaper and banned that person from selling on Amazon.
Are you joking me?
And made, 3.5? The people who originally were selling it, they made 3.5, which is 0.001% of Amazon's net worth. But they still wanted more. That's why it is unethical to be a billionaire. I do not care how you flip it, whatever, it is unethical. And Bill Gates did the same shit with his competition. It is unethical to be a billionaire. Period. There's no way you can ethically have that much. Trillionaire, what does that even look like on paper?
It doesn't make sense for people like that to exist while they're still poverty.
Hunger, famine.
Yeah, like it just doesn't really click to me. Like, if they were being taxed, like put that money to...
And Amazon hasn't paid taxes and I don't even know how long.
And that's the thing. Like, they're like, okay, eat the rich. The people who are making billions and billions and millions of dollars, they be chilling. Yeah. It's the little like, okay, the early six figures people, they're taking away so much money. But then Bill Gates in the morning.
Yeah. It just literally when Amazon was shopping around for their next headquarters, motherfuckers like, we will like make you tax exempt if you bring your company here. So sick. Ain't that sick?
It's insane. And then, okay, if y'all are gonna do that, all right. We cannot control the fact that there is trillionaires and billionaires that exist. But at the very least, could you just pay people, though? Could you just, like, could the people who are working for you, could you just pay them some money that they can survive off of? Like,
just a little bit. But no, they don't want to do that because that affects their bottom line.
Well, this is getting sad.
It is getting sad. Let's move on to the... So moving on from our rant about capitalism, we're going to go into what we're not bringing into 2020 is dead weight. If that comes in the form of, you know, friendships, relationships, you know, hobbies, whatever is not serving you anymore, we got to let that go in 2020. 2021.
Agreed. I feel like 2020 was a very introspective year. You got to reflect on the people who are around you and how they made you feel, and the people who weren't around. Like, I feel like people weren't going outside as much. So any of your friends who are those go out with you friends, those aren't your friends no more. Like, you're not seeing those people if you don't talk to them. Like, that's, you know? So in 2021, remember what 2020 was like. I didn't hear from you. I didn't see you. We had nothing in common that we even needed to talk about. So let's
just leave the relationship where
when outside open, it's not who you want. Like, no, I'm okay.
Yeah. And we talked about this in our Friends episode. What was that called? What was that episode called? Our Friends episode?
I don't know. Friends?
I'll link it in the description. But we talked about A, B, and C friends and how you have to distinguish between the three. Your A friends are obviously the people that you've probably been connecting with the most throughout the pandemic, and they obviously hopefully seeing them safely and things like that. Those are the people that you're going to be wanting to take into next year. B and C is very kind of situational.
I was just going to say, like, type C friends didn't really exist in the pandemic.
No, because you're not going out.
You're not going and just...
I hope.
It's not just easy. Oh, yeah, I'm going to meet you at this, you know? But I feel like it's so much healthier that way. I personally am not a big fan of, like, there's people who are my acquaintances, but I'm not a big fan of giving a lot of energy to people who don't make me feel good, who don't actually know me. I would rather be able to have, like, a deep, thorough conversation. Surface level stuff, I'm like...
So frivolous.
Yeah, I try and avoid small talk with random people. But, yeah. In 2021, we're going to be more intentional about the people we have in our space. If you're giving 100 and they're giving 2,
go ahead and walk out.
Leave them in 2020.
Walk it out. Because it's if it's one thing that I've learned, even like just from like the relationship front, just leave people. It's so hard, but you just leave people. It's really so much easier than said than done. But like. When you're like going through the thick of it, it's gonna suck. But when you're like finally starting to see things and you look back on what the relationship was, you're gonna be like, damn.
Yeah.
I did not know my worth, or I sold myself short for this person and they couldn't care less.
That's a word, selling yourself short. I feel like sometimes when people give little, we give more. Yeah. Because it's like, oh wait, come on, like I know it's in there, I know it's in there, come on now. Yeah. And it's then you look back and it's like, that was stupid. Like just be around people who give you the same energy. Like reciprocity is so important, especially in these times. Like don't be wasting your energy, time, your life. Yeah. Because life is so short. This pandemic year showed us like you never know when it's your time, when it's your loved one's time. So like just love on the people that you love on, and anyone who you have to question or you feel uncomfortable with, you're not so sure. Don't give them your time.
Yeah, and time is the one thing you just can never get back. You can never spend money on someone, emotions,
money come back,
stuff like that. But you can never get time back. So don't let no one suck the life out of you for their own pleasure while not giving you anything back. So
period. Reciprocity all 2021.
Period. Our last one. Oh, this is quite on par with the year we've had, but. In 2021, we have to leave the people who you have to explain your humanity to. In 2020, we saw the rise of the pandemic, and then the Black Lives Matter movement just kind of like exploded for like 5 months, and everyone was so apologetic and things like that. And now we're in December, and we're kind of right back where we started. So everybody was liars, which we've been knew. Yeah. But you really just have to leave the people where you at, because the issues that we're bringing up, it's not a matter of opinion. It's a matter of fact.
It's a fact.
There with statistics to back it up with situations to back it up with. This is real life. And if you have to consistently tell someone, I too am human and I would like you to see me that way, you got to leave that person alone. You got to leave those people, even if it is a group of people. I won't say what group. But you got to leave those them people alone.
In 2020.
And you know the them I'm talking about. Because we're done. We're done explaining to people why they can't say the N-word if they're not black. We're done trying to explain to people why yes, all lives matter, but we're talking about black. We're done.
Yeah.
If they don't have it by now, they're dumb. They're stupid.
I feel like if they didn't,
that's it.
If they didn't understand it then, it was a super, like, it's been dead since day one. But now since we making changes
right.
for the new year, it's like, don't forget to leave those people. And you might be friends with people who you thought were allies and they didn't show up, or people who were posting inappropriate things. And those might be your type C friends.
Yeah.
Those people you saw out when you were on the town.
Yeah.
Leave them behind.
Yeah. Or those people who are non-black and claim to be Black Lives Matter until something it happens between the black community and their community. And it's like, see, this is why I didn't even want to put Black Lives Matter. This is why
I seen those ones. Like, y'all don't even look out for us.
I be side-eyeing anybody that's not black. I really do be like, okay, you said Black Lives Matter, but let me see how this plays out. Because it always happens, but they never, ever, they'll be quick to say that, but they never, ever point out the racism within their communities towards black people.
Never.
But when it comes to something that happens between black people and I also watch how people call black people blacks.
I hate that. That's my
blacks.
What
is that? That's how I separate my laundries: blacks, whites, jeans.
Yeah, we're leaving them behind, okay?
Stop explaining to people why black folks matter. We know.
And if you have to explain to them, they didn't see your humanity in the first place.
No.
They might have seen you as an exception to the rules that they have put in their mind. Mm-hmm. Like, if you're at work, you're the only black person, and you work with people who you know they don't got no black friends. They don't see you like the average black person. They think of you like that one who is smarter than the rest, or she's more nice. She doesn't have an attitude. No, bro.
But them other blacks.
Exactly. They see you as an
Those are the ones that I'm talking about. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about those other ones.
It's like, no,
it's all or nothing. For black people, it's all or nothing. You're either talking about all of us or none of us.
Yes.
There's yes. Because you really just can't.
No.
Yeah, leave them people alone. And also, the people that don't want to wear masks, leave them alone too. For real.
Wait, but you know what? This is going to get sticky, because as much as we want to say, like, oh, those like anti-maskers who are typically Caucasian, crazy people. How about your friends, guys? How about your friends who are out at the parties, who've been traveling to other cities on the town? For leisure.
Or not safely.
If you're working and trying to grind something out, whatever, you got to do what you got to do. But if you're literally disrespecting what's going on, I feel like, you're disrespectful. Like, you as a human, you're morally unsound. So I don't want to be, after the pandemic is over, ojalá that it even ever ends, okay? When it's over, I'm not trying to be hanging out with somebody who was doing the most during the pandemic. Like,
we can FaceTime for sure, but I'm not going to be around you.
Yeah, and it's like, it's almost, even if everything is safe, if they're vaccinated and everything, it's almost a level of disgust. Like, you're that selfish that you've moved that reckless throughout this entire thing. Like, there's people who so many people have lost their lives to this, and you didn't take it serious. It's hard for me to respect you as a human, because you have no moral code. That's like, is the turn up worth it? You needed to be turned that bad that you would put someone's life at risk. I can't respect it.
I can't either. So yeah, the people who really just didn't care about humanity this year, like, we see you.
Right, you showed your true colors, and even if okay. No.
We got you in 4K, don't worry about it. So that wraps up the things that we're going to leave in 2020. But these are the things we're going to be doing more of in 2021. And Bria, go ahead and take it away.
Okay, so first, and we've kind of hit this a little bit on the surface, just show love to your people.
Yeah.
Like this, as much as 2020 was eye-opening and it showed you who didn't make you feel good, it made you realize the people who do make you feel good, the people who you do enjoy talking to, the people who you did find comfort in and warmth in, because times were very hard. So love on those people. Yep. Like place your energy in their buckets, because they're there for you and you're there for them. And, foster more meaningful relationships in 2021 and focus less on surface level random people who don't deserve your time.
I agree. I mean, that was well said.
Next.
That was well said. Show love and support your friends and neighbors.
Yeah.
And your family too.
Yes.
The next one is just living more. I know this year we're confined to our homes and stuff like that. So this year this upcoming year is more about just kind of like living outside your bubble.
Yeah. Yeah. Literally venture outside of your little bubble. And don't get me wrong, like things are probably not about to get much better tomorrow. Okay? Right. But we're going to have to learn to live with this. So go for a walk if you can. Yeah. Go if you have a balcony or whatever, go try a new restaurant. Even if you're trying a new restaurant, takeout, you're having it delivered. Right. Just venture outside of the norm more often, because we're going to have to learn to live like this.
Yeah, and we're eventually just going to have to start living with Corona, as bad as that sounds. So when things are just kind of a little bit more clear, just make it a priority to live your life to your fullest, not your last, but one of multiple. Just, do the things that you want to do. Do more outside of even outside of your norm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Venture out of your
experience, like you said, see what's out there. You might find a new passion or something like that. And when it's clear, definitely travel if you have the means, even if it's just like within your state.
Yeah, you can country. Take a little road trip or something. Yeah. But it's not normal to put your life on hold for an entire year waiting for this government that we've discussed. Is not
and it's actually quite depressing too.
Yeah, that's so sad. So revisit the things that, like, at the top of 2020, what was it that you wanted to do? Exactly. Because those things probably got put on hold because outside is closed. Now start revisiting those. Can I do that with a mask? Mm-hmm. Can I drive there? Do I have to take, Yep. Just start working around it, because it's crazy.
Yeah, it's true. And this next one is really important. Something that I also learned this year is putting yourself first more often. If it's one thing I learned from my last relationship is you have to put yourself first.
Yes.
No one's going to be there to hold your hand. Hey, you have to do that for yourself. You have to not stop being a giver per se, but stop making that your identity. I love to give. I love to pour into people. And if you're constantly doing it, you're going to get depleted one day, and it's the fallout is not going to be good.
Yes.
So invest more into you. Put yourself first. You cannot be out here helping broken people and you're not even all the way put together.
Yes.
Focus on getting you right. If you're right, go ahead and do your thing. If you're not, just take a step back and tell the person, you know what, give me a second. I'll go ahead and come back to you when I'm ready.
Yes, it's true. That is of the utmost importance, because you're all you have at the end of the day. In everyone else's life, you're replaceable. And that sounds very dark, but it's true. If you're someone's friend or you're their lover, whatever the case may be, at any point, it could end. You can go in and out of their lives. Your life is the only one that you're consistently a part of until the end of time. So you need to make sure that you are good for yourself. Yep. And then anyone who comes in and goes out, life naturally flows that way. Mm-hmm. So you need to be equipped to deal with that. So worry about you.
Live with all your decisions. So just think about how that's going to weigh on you later.
Indeed. Okay, what do we have?
And then number 4.
Okay, so while you're listening to this podcast, support your friends' endeavors. I feel like there's some people, we've just because some people struggled during the pandemic. Some people were super successful during the pandemic. But there was also this rise in like Black businesses getting more shine. And I love that.
Me too.
People are posting. They're starting that one thing that they wish they had always done. And I love that so much. Support your friends.
Yeah.
Like, you shouldn't be down Gucci page, like, and everything, but your friend has a clothing business and you're nowhere to be found. And don't get me wrong. Sometimes you'll have a friend and they post some stuff or they're doing some stuff and it's like, that's ugly.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't really like that. If that's your friend for real, you can tell them.
Yeah. Give them feedback.
Yeah.
Obviously in a nice manner. Don't do that shit ugly. Yeah. Like, you know what? I didn't really like that as much. So if you did something different about this,
or make a suggestion. Like there was this company, like a small business, and they made shirts, and I wanted long sleeve, and I reached out. That's fine.
Yeah.
Like, and if they're good, they can do it, and that could be a goal for them down the line.
Like coming soon or something. Yeah, like
that's fine. Like that's completely and totally fine and welcome. But don't be absent for your people's things. Even it could be a like, it could be a donation. If they're selling food, you could buy it. There's so many ways to support your people, and it looks weird for you to support random companies who don't care about you, and your friends are there doing things, and you just
not even a like. Not a repost.
Literally,
nothing. Okay. That literally costs nothing. It's just kind of like repost it or whatever.
Follow their page. Follow Read the Room Pie on Instagram. Okay, like just
follow their page. That's a start. People just kind of get like that. I think audience growing.
And okay, for other podcasters, if there's other podcasters listening, I think it's so interesting how Clubhouse is a thing now. They're really just like going and listening to people talk, right? Yeah. If y'all could listen to Clubhouse, you could definitely listen to a podcast, but I digress. Okay.
Yeah. So it really doesn't cost much to just support the people in your life.
Yeah.
This is a good one. We're talking about Clubhouse. I already just joined Clubhouse.
D?
Yeah.
Oh my girl, what are you doing on there?
Hey, Ari. What's number 5? Oh, set clear boundaries. You know we love a good. That was our first episode.
I love that episode.
That was our first episode. Boundaries. If you need a refresher of what boundaries are, I'm definitely gonna link it for you to listen. It's gonna be in the description box. But you need to set boundaries.
Yes.
It is one of the most uncomfortable positions or uncomfortable conversations to have with people. Whether in a romantic setting or like a friendship, even family, that can be very, But it's one of those conversations that if you intend on being happy, you need to have that conversation.
Yeah.
Because people are not going to know what your buttons are unless you tell them.
Ooh, yeah.
And boundaries, oh Lord.
It's difficult. Those are difficult conversations to have. But at the end of the day, if you want someone to continue being in your life, they cannot keep being in it irking you.
Yeah.
They can't. Like, you just cannot live that way. So that's something for you to consider as well. Do I even care enough about this situation to set boundaries? Do I even care enough to talk to them about how I feel about this? Or is it just beyond the point where I want to talk? It could just be like, I'm going to leave you in last year. Yeah. Or is it I'm going to tell you that you've been getting on my nerves?
Yeah.
But that's for you to decide. But
or we need to reimagine what this relationship looks like, because what we have right now is not working. And we need, if we want to keep this going, we need to try something new.
That was a good way to say it. It's a new year. Let's revamp this.
Yeah.
Because it's not working how it's going right now.
Yeah, set those boundaries, if for no one else, for yourself.
Yes.
Trust me.
Yes.
It's a weight lifter. And also have non-negotiables. Those are things that no matter, under no circumstance are you ever going to budge on that said thing or things.
You should write them down too, because if you just have them in your mind, and I know, like, I'm a lawyer, so I can reason anything with myself. I'm like, I said that, but like, it doesn't always apply. No, write it down so that you cannot get around it, wiggle any kind of way, and stay true to it. Okay. So those are the things that we want to leave in 2020 and we should do more of in 2021. And now we're going to talk about some good ideas for resolutions that we saw.
Yeah.
Because I feel like sometimes the resolutions are either super cheesy or super broad or super like, this is stupid. I'm going to do that for 1 week.
Yeah.
So here's some. There we go. Cook one new thing each week. I think that's so cute.
That's cute. And if you do cook stuff, email us what you made.
I want it to be mailed to me. You can't put my address.
we get PO box. Just say if you just need an audience, we're here.
Yeah,
we're here for y'all. If you cook one new thing each week, just send it to us. We'd love to see what you guys are cooking.
And I think a good way to go about it, I have this one cookbook, Son of a Southern Chef, I want to cook from.
Me too.
You got that one? Yes. Sydney has it too.
Sydney bought it for me.
Oh, shame on me one. Wait, which Sydney are you talking about?
Sydney Chapman.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh my God, I want that book. And she bought it.
Oh my God. Okay. I ordered it after I saw it on her story. Anybody want Sydney was the tea girl.
I had to do it. You know, Neil's beat.
Oh, yeah, I love them. Okay, I have that one, and then I ordered a book just yesterday. It's called Afro Vegan.
Ooh.
I
think Sydney has the other Sydney. Yeah. Sydney Sewell has that one.
Okay, I'm gonna just try and flavor it up, see what it goes like. I think that's a good way to go about it instead of me just being like, I want to go vegan. Yeah. Once upon a time. Okay. Yeah. Second one, join a club. What, like?
The Read the Room podcast club on Facebook is always open for you guys to
join. Also, like, okay, say you were younger and you played volleyball and then you got older and it just didn't make sense anymore. You could join like
just for fun
team. Yeah, not everything. And I feel like we were conditioned growing up that you need to do things because when you are good at them.
Right.
Do it until you're the best, until you can win the trophy. Not everything has to be like that. You can try things out. My auntie was here. She's like in her 70s. She was like, I took guitar lessons for 3 years. I was like, were you any good? She was like, not at all. She was like, it was way more difficult than I thought. But she did it. She tried. And she stuck with it for 3 years. Like, go do something.
Yeah.
You want to do?
Take the stairs.
Even though you're anti,
I'm against this one because I live in the apartment building with only stairs. I take the stairs every day, and it is treacherous. My goodness! But if you have like a health goal this year, like a fitness goal, like you can always start small, like with taking the stairs, and if that is something you could do every day, ramp it up to going to the gym or whatever.
Yeah, that's
going for a run.
That's a good. Yeah, if I'm like I'm about to eat terrible, I take the stairs kind of often unless I have like a bunch of stuff. I'm only on the second floor.
Yeah, so it's not a whole lot of stairs to go up.
Okay, anyways, but I take them.
What else? Get a new hobby. Oh, I was actually gonna do that in 2020. I told you I wanted to do pottery. But then the pandemic hit. I didn't really know how that operated. So I'm going to try again and see if in 2021 I can start back doing that.
Yeah. Pottery, buying plants, being a plant mom. It's one of my most prized moments. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, look, here's one of my plants. I'm going
to try that. I guess I saw this video of someone growing green onions. Or green peppers, my bad.
Okay.
Green peppers. I think I'm going to try it. It took 100 days. But
outside?
Inside.
Are you kidding?
Dead serious.
Okay, so just in case some of the video got cut off, because that sometimes happens from here and there. A recap. So far we have some good ideas for resolutions as first, cook one new thing each week. Second, join a club. 3, take the stairs. 4, get a new hobby like owning plants, try a new instrument. I'm about to do the piano, me and my nephew. And the pole. Also, that's another one.
Oh, that's a good one.
Pottery. Then we also have therapy,
which I say this time and time again, one of the most important and best decisions I've ever made in my life. I've seen my growth like from when I started in early 2019 to now and like moving forward. Like I still have a lot of stuff to work out, but like some of like the core things that I went in for, I can already see myself improving on it. It took a lot of crying and a lot of being honest with myself, but I think everybody should do it, honestly.
This year needs to be my year for therapy. Yeah. I have been trying to get my mother to go for the longest time, and she's like, I don't need therapy.
Ooh, that's my mom saying that too.
Maybe if I go, she'll be like, okay, like, I'll give it a try. But
go. So therapy, Go and I found my therapist on blackgirltherapy.com or Therapy for Black Girls. I don't know which one it was, but I'll put it in the
Google, link. Yeah. Okay.
Sleeping more.
That's so important.
Just go to bed.
Bro. Go to sleep.
Go to bed. Take a nap. Something.
I feel like not sleeping has been so romanticized. Like, I'm grinding. It's like you need to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Okay. I love this one. Volunteering. Donating your clothes, just being more philanthropic this year. Like 2020 was so hard for so many people. If you came out of 2020 in the same position you were in last year or a better position, you are certainly in a position to help someone else. So do that.
Just pay it forward.
Pay it forward this year. Yeah. And one last thing, suggestion. Whatever field you're in, whatever you're doing, think about the you umpteen years ago. What could you have used help with back when you were starting? Like I came across a friend of a friend who was paying for students LSAT fees. Yeah. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'll sponsor some students too. Yeah. And that was so sweet. And the student messaged me like, so grateful. If you can afford to help somebody in a situation like that, just do it. Like, because you know what it took to get where you are. If you could just take away some of the burden that someone else has to go through, just do it.
Yeah. For the most part, I operate on money is attracted to me and it's always going to come back to me. So when it comes to like helping people, I'm like super like whatever. Like if I have it, like I'm good, I'm set, I got my financials in order, then like if I can spare like 20, 30, 40 bucks,
just do it.
There's one thing I recently did. This one lady on Twitter that I follow, she was doing like a she called it Rich Aunties and Uncles, like kind of like a Christmas drive. Like basically like people when you kind of submit their Amazon list and you just buy something. So I just did that.
That's so sweet. But things like that, small. Just go do that while y'all on Twitter talking about Birkins and how Coach is beneath you. Okay, go spend a Birkin. It's
easy to make $400,000 in 1 year.
Right, go.
Since we all rich, let's go ahead and pay for it. Let's pay for it.
Right, literally.
Figuring out your skincare routine. Ooh, I be talking about my skin a lot because it's been getting better. So I am like definitely on the skincare train. If you need some people to follow, let me know. I will let y'all know because I gotta look them up on my Twitter, but. Get your skincare together.
You got locked out of your Twitter?
No.
Oh,
I gotta look them up on my Twitter.
I'm like, you got locked out. What you was saying? Okay,
get a dermatologist too if you can.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna, yeah. Okay.
Dermatologist. Yeah.
Get yourself together. Get your face together. Okay, next, take your lunch break, but for real.
Yeah, the whole hour.
Like
walk away from your computer.
Take your break. Don't be, I'll dabble in an email here and dabble in an email there because your brain never actually gets to rest. Yeah. You need to rest. Take that time. On the weekends, if you don't have anything to do for work, actually take that time for yourself. Like don't be checking in because you'll never rest. You literally a partner at my firm was saying like, so what days are you going to be off for the holiday? And I'm like, I just planned on not really doing much, but if I get emails, I get them. She was like, no, you need to choose time and be off and not look at your email because otherwise you'll be anxious. Like, I'm going to go to the store, but what if somebody...
Right.
No, be more intentional about your you time.
Literally, when I log off for my thing, I'd be logging off a few times a day. I'll just be like, I'm doing this. Like, if I gotta go to COVID test, I'm like COVID testing. If I'm out eating, I'm doing that. I just tell them where I'm at. Yeah. And I say how long I'll be back, and then that's it. Yeah. If you send me something, I'll get to it when I get back.
Yes. Okay. Spend less time on your phone this year. Okay. It feels so peaceful to be away from the phone, though. As much as Twitter is very funny. Twitter is like that funny girl, and I'd be laughing and having a great time. Yeah. But you'll get sucked in, and you'll be... when you get to a certain point, it's not productive anymore. Yeah. It's not bringing you joy.
That's facts. So get away from your phone.
Go limit your thing on the apps. You can do that. I always be like, ignore limit or 15 more minutes, like hella times. But I'm going to try and be better about not doing that.
Yeah, ignore all that. And then last but not least, declutter, whether that be your life, your computer files, just like photos, emails, anything that don't make sense. Like I got some text messages from like 2016. I ain't never looked. I'm gonna go ahead and clean that, and I want y'all to do just clean out your life.
Bro,
just like
screenshots,
screenshots that you thought you was gonna use and never did.
Gonna use them screenshots.
If you haven't used it by now, I'm sorry, and there's not gonna be a scenario. Go ahead and get rid of it. Declutter your life. Period.
Start now.
Yeah.
Don't wait for a couple weeks. I'll do it after. Like, just do it now.
Yep.
Or you can make goals. Like, I'm gonna delete 100 pictures a week.
Right.
Something, bro.
Get it out of the way.
Y'all be messy in it. Right. You can tell.
Yeah. But you know what, guys? That wraps up. Oh, I'm sorry. Not guys. Guys, gals. They, thems. That wraps up our show today. This has been The Read. We discussed 2020.
This has been who?
The Read. Oh my gosh. I said The Read. I don't know what I was thinking about.
She just called this somebody else's podcast, bro. Lordy jeez.
Okay, anyways. Go back to wrapping up. All right, guys. So that wraps up today's episode. We talked about New Year's resolutions, the psychology behind it, what we're leaving behind, and what we're taking into 2021.
And with some good ideas for things you can do that's not lame and that are realistic and that are specific.
Yeah. Just remember, in making your goals for 2021, definitely make sure there's a specific, measurable, achievable.
Yeah.
What's the R?
That was a thing?
Yeah. Like SMART goals, SMART. Specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and then something that you can put a time on.
Oh, T is for time.
Yeah. And also, don't have too many goals. It's okay. Don't have too many
Slow
goals.
down, yeah.
Even if you have to do a goal a month or a goal every quarter, like...
Well, goal a year, bro. And make your goals based on you, please. I beg of you. I beg of you, make your own goals. Do not go on social media and be like, okay, she did this. I should try that. She did this. I should... No.
Be true to yourself.
What's making you happy? What's that thing that makes your soul smile? Right. Not other humans, okay? I think that's it.
That's pretty much it. We love that you guys have made it this far with us, and we are so excited to bring you new content this year. New consistent content. We have new mics. We're going to be posting every other week.
I got a computer now. My computer crashed. We got videos if you're watching this.
Yeah, so just bank on every other... We're doing Fridays, right?
Yes.
Every other Friday, there should be a new episode of Read the Room, accompanying with the video. And follow us on social media. Instagram and Twitter is at Read the Room Pod. And then our email... Y'all already know we be begging y'all. Hopefully 2021 we get a different response.
Right, make that your New Year's resolution.
Right. Respond to us. Yeah, but you guys been rocking with us this long. We some cool gals.
Indeed.
And we can give you some good advice. So you can send us an email at readtheroompod@gmail.com. And until next time, y'all, it's been your girl Merv.
Bye. We love you.
And it's been bye.
And it's been
bye. We'll see y'all next
this
episode.
Is Embryo. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
And gals and days and them.
Okay.